Hey, happy Monday, happy Monday, happy Monday. Yesterday we went 2 for 2. We won both our NBA prop bets, but unfortunately we took an L with the MLB. But we still had a profitable weekend. Went 3-on-1, 3-on-1 on Saturday, 2-on-1 on Friday, and 50% yesterday. So we're going to go ahead and get this week started off right. All right. So before we get started, if you have not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell so you can be notified and alerted of any of my new videos. You can look forward to a couple poker videos dropping this week. They're probably going to be around 10 minutes. I'm going to just make them, some of the most exciting hands, wins or losses, So look forward to that. But let's go ahead and get started. Today we're going to have 5 NBA bets and 2 MLB. All right. So this is going to be the most bets we had in a while, but I like these bets. I saw a lot of games that I liked, so I went ahead and, included them in today's video. All right. The first 2 prop bets are going to come from the same game, from the same team. We're going to look at Damian Lillard over points versus the Rockets. All right. I believe right now when I was looking, his may be 27.5 or a little bit less. I like that over for him. And CJ McCollum as well, his over points. I believe his may be in the early 20s as well, right? Lillard this season when he played against Houston, he scored 30 and then 32. And for CJ McCollum, his last game against the Rockets, he scored 44. So I like those 2 as a parlay to go ahead in-game parlay for those 2 players. And, looking at Houston, I don't believe it'll be a blowout. Houston has been surprisingly scoring a lot of points lately, even with the injuries that they have, and with Portland being a team that struggles defensively, I think this game will be a lot closer. So they'll have opportunities, McCollum and Lillard, to put up their over points. All right, now we're going to move on to the next 2 prop bets, and these 2 will also come from the same game, but just not the same team. We're going to look at Russell Westbrook over 27.5 points versus the Hawks, right? Now, his last game he played against the Hawks this season, he had 26. Now, 27.5 is probably a little bit on the high side, but with Bradley Beal being out today, that is definitely they're going to need him to score points, right? And the Atlanta Hawks are one of the defensive teams that will give up a lot of points to the point guard. And it makes sense. I mean, whether or not they will have Trae Young guarding Westbrook, he's not big enough or strong enough to stop Westbrook from getting to any point on the floor, especially layups. So I like him to go ahead and get over 27.5 points. On the flip side, just like Atlanta isn't that great at defending the point guard position, the Wizards aren't neither. The Wizards aren't really good at defending at all, but the point guard position is one where they give up a lot of points, right? So we're going to go with Trae Young over 25.5 points versus the Wizards. Now, his last 3 games, those numbers were 41, 45, and 19. So, obviously when he plays against the Wizards, especially last 2 games, he lights up, he shows out, and I think that today will be no different. All right. Now, our only over game bet for the NBA is going to be the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Indiana Pacers over 230.5. Indiana is number 1 in the league for games going over on the road with a 69% average on the season. And Cleveland home games are going over at 57.6%. The game, they played 2 times already this year. The game 2 of that series where Cleveland was at home also went over. And I've mentioned this in the last few picks that I took Indiana and we've won. They've been pushing the pace this year, right? And with that pace that they're going to be pushing, I mean, Cleveland, with all the injuries that they have, I mean, only, Sexton will be playing, but they're going to also need to push the pace as well. And if push come to shove, Indiana might just blow them out like they did OKC a couple Saturdays ago and still go over 230.5. All right. So now we're going to get to our 2 MLB picks. We're going to go with the Arizona Diamondbacks versus the Miami Marlins. Their overruns, right? Right now, there isn't a line yet. I think they're still deciding the pitcher. But as the home team this year, 72.7% of the Diamondbacks games have gone over. And with Luke Weaver on the mound, who has a 6.07 ERA, I like for that to be over as well. As long as there's nothing crazy like over 10 runs, I like that to take that over. It may be 8.5, and I definitely like it still to go over. All right. And now the final bet of the day, Pirates versus Cincinnati Reds, over 7.5 runs. Reds as the away team so far this year, 61.5% of their games go over, and Pirates home games, 63.6% of their games have gone over. All right. Keller, who has an ERA of 6.29 for the Pirates, should help to ensure that this over of 7.5 runs go over today. Right? So, but that does it for today, this Monday. Good luck. Let's start the week off right. Happy betting. And most importantly, never bet more than you can afford to lose. And I will see you as always tomorrow.